Hello, my name is Shadley. Welcome back for another bit of Curtain Steel and Supreme Royal Ultimate. In previous episode, we managed to push the enemy back a little bit, but they did manage to have quite a stack of artillery, among other things, in here, which is causing us a lot of problems. But we are at least threatening the land production in here, and hopefully we can sort of stop the enemy reinforcements from arriving into the location as well, which would be quite handy, actually. Oh, and who's offering now? No, I'm not going to buy some more military goods. I'm going to stop trading for the military goods. Go ahead and bring in some more troops from here. Although the combat engineers aren't all that great in combat, even though the name says so. It's just they are not that well defended, is the problem. Let's go ahead and push further north over there. And that one needs to pull back. There is a lot of artillery in the village of Laval. I was just wondering, do I have any troops that could clear that out easily? Probably not. But we'll have to try regardless. Entrench over there, we'll send some of these to entrench there as well. That's going to give us at least a little bit of capabilities to bring them down. And let's just go ahead and send those back out. That one can move out. These we shall send into the combat here, just so that we can destroy the garrisons faster. And of course, now that we've got our infantry doom stack over here, let's just entrench in here once more. We can send the tanks forward to help on both of these combats. And now we should have our artillery moved in within reach of the enemy stack there. As well as this one, I suppose we can move it forward. If we can sort of focus them down in there. I mean, we are taking heavy casualties regardless. So let's just focus on retreating some of the troops that need to retreat. Did we... Okay, we did start fighting the city over there, but at least the artillery is now spread out. So that's good. Kind of. There's Panther over there from the Germans. We do have artillery that we could probably push forward. Let's actually bring it all the way here. So they can at least shoot a little bit further around the corner, so to speak. That one needs to pull back. We did clear out the military complex at least. I'm not actually going to send anyone into the complex itself. It's just now that we can fight them from two sides. Oh, there we go. We're dealing massive damage in there. That's a lot of the artillery is done for. That's going to save us a lot of trouble in the later points in time. Oh, let's send in the infantry from here to sit on the railway here. And the tanks can maybe... You know what? Tanks can get back into the point. Or the hex there. Let's send these two to be repaired. And our combat for the city in Laval is... or town of Laval is not going all that strong. We lost another Zulu over here. Thanks to those bloody escorts are sitting on their side of things. Okay, how about you get over here, you bastard? Or you do still have... Oh, there we go. So clearly what we've learned is we can't sit on the border, otherwise the enemies are just gonna shoot us from their side while they still have this. So basically what we need to do is we need to get all the way around here so they can't use this or these Channel Islands as their base of operations. Right, and this is 40 infantry. If this is not gonna be enough to clear out the enemies in here, then I don't know what is. Let's send these to be repaired. Okay, there we go. The enemy is actually sort of retreating, so I'm just going to give orders to get into the city here already. The artillery is downed. So as soon as we've taken that, we can get into the... Well, I suppose we can send tanks already in there. The Nantes is going to fall soon, especially now that we're getting more and more infantry in here.
We need reinforcements.
We need reinforcements. Oh, we lost another heavy tank. Oh, that's in the northern area. Okay, yeah, that's the attack towards the city there. We could certainly bring in a bit more troops there, that's for sure. Is that the artillery stacks? Yeah, that's the artillery stacks there. Alright, well, we know how to deal with them. Let's just push forward and don't stop. Right, let's just push in. There's already 23 of these. Get in here. Destroy all the garrisons in Nantes in a matter of seconds. We'll probably push out a little bit further just to capture some of these towns. While we have, or once we have these, we can set up a defensive line there. and it's hopefully going to be fine. We might need to leave some tanks or something like that so that we can push through the enemy lines if need be. Sort of breakthrough units so that if they start amassing a lot of artillery, then we can at least deal with them. You're from military goods, I'm going to reject that. I honestly don't think I need more military goods. Well, I mean, we're producing a lot. We are of course using a lot, but the usage of them is going to slow down a decent chunk soon enough. We've got the AA units there. Is there still a lot of planes flying in here? I mean, there is quite a few. We're also shooting down a lot of them. So it's not the end of the world. These two can certainly be sent for repairs. And we got a lot of troops over here that could be moved forward to there, for example. These can be entrenched in here, so Nantes. Oh wow, yeah, we destroyed the garrisons already. So now it's just a matter of destroying the rest of it. Well, the defensive forces anyway. Is that a... that's just an artillery stack there. Or mostly AA stack, I suppose. Let's move those in. Or move the... no, moving 14 is best enough forward to get all of that. So did we manage to sink any of the ships here? A little bit. Artillery is still... oh, hey. We actually cleared out the city. Sending some more tanks over here along the river. The infantry did its job for the most part, and now we're getting into Nantes. And that's going to be a massive amount of fire on the southern side of the river. Soon enough. Right, so let's have a look at the units lost. Well, we lost 95, we killed 766. So we're probably going to be hitting 7,000 today. With this sort of speed, at least. In terms of the combat happening. Let's move these forward, and these can start moving further north. If we can take Cherbourg, that'd be nice. That would be another port that they won't be able to use. I mean, Caen is also another one that they are using. I don't think we can necessarily get in there quickly either. Some of the AA guns closer, and I suppose these could be sent to be repaired. Got a fair bit more infantry in here that could be used soon enough. And of course, we still have a massive amount of troops here that I've just not sorted through because it's going to take a while. I've been recording these episodes since the invasion, back to back. Oh, we just lost another heavy tank over there. Oh, right, yeah, that is quite a bit of troops in there. Do we have more? I suppose we got some artillery over here that we can move forward, so we can start bombarding the enemies there. Do we have more infantry in here that we could utilize? Well, we probably do. Let's bring those forward. We got another artillery stack over here that we can push in somewhere over there. We got the AA troops already in here in fairly good activity. Push these forward. Probably somewhere over there. And then these, except that one, can be sent for repairs. This tank can stay in here to start pushing along the river, I think. That airfield is going to be a problem. Right, well, we got across the river at least, or through the river for the most part. What we're going to do is we're going to send in more troops into the city itself. We'll start taking some of these out. And probably start... oh, is this a river province? It is, okay. We'll need to actually go south, because these don't have the capability of going through rivers. Got quite a few tanks repaired now. It's going to send them towards the eastern flank. And then in the southern flank, once we get more infantry in here, we'll probably send them to capture the hydro plants here and clear out the enemy air guns there. It's going to take some time. Each time that we fire, we destroy multiple ones of them. So it's just a matter of time until we get through all of them. Let's just bring in the air guns a bit further south, and then let's go ahead and start bringing some more infantry towards the assault on Cherbourg, as well as send in some more of these tanks to the eastern front. A little bit, it feels a bit weird calling the front towards Paris the eastern front, but you know, it happens from time to time. It's going to send some more tanks to the south as well, because those will be faster, so we can clear out, especially these artillery troops that are forming up here. Although that is mostly AA guns still, so it's not quite as bad as it looks to be, or seems to be, but it's still going to be nasty.
We need reinforcements.
No, did we lose yet? Oh, right, enemy approaching base. That makes sense. Right, we managed to take a decent bit of stuff in here. Do we have the ships repaired? We got quite a few ships repaired, so let's just go ahead and bring this fleet in here. And then what we'll do is we'll just use that fleet to get all the way through here, capture up to here, and capture all of that border with the Jersey Islands here. And that way, we can make sure that the enemies won't be able to, or mostly the British won't be able to just bring their fleet through there. And you want to buy petroleum? Okay, that one I can accept. I'm still buying a lot of military goods. I mean, sure enough, we use a lot of it. But, like, we got production. We could probably increase the production to 50%. That's going to be almost 10,000 tons per day. Let's just enter these tanks into combat here. Most of those AA guns won't be able to do much about us. There's some combat or motorized engineer in here from the Italians that will maybe cause some issues. But overall, we'll be able to push through that. There's the airfield over there, which we probably want to get some planes closer, and especially the AA guns closer towards, and then those can move there. We got the artillery maybe capable of supporting a bit more over here, especially against a lot of those troops that are moving about there. That haven't started doing much yet, but are still moving there. So those are on the move. We've got some more tanks over here. And this stack over that way. We've got another tank group over here, so we'll just go ahead and start sort of cutting this line out and then clearing out the peninsula there. And then we can start pushing further east. So in the meanwhile, we'll just hold on our ground for... Well, actually, we can't just hold on in here because there's just so bloody many artillery in there. Again, there's all the Belgian artillery, and most of that is not even particularly new artillery. It's just whatever they manage to scrounge up. We do have a lot of infantry in here, which I suppose could start moving forward. Do we... Well, I suppose we could use it over here. Let's just entrench it over there. That one needs to go get some repairs, and a lot of the troops on the front line need to go get some repairs. Pull that one back, and these two need to pull back. That one can push forward. And we've got some other troops across the river now, so let's just go ahead and deal with the enemy or artillery over there. And then we've got... Actually, we haven't got all the tanks in here yet. No, we sent the tanks to the east, didn't we? Right, we've got a lot more infantry over here as well. Entrench over there. Let's take another 7 units from here. Let's actually take some of the more experienced ones. Get over there, because that is forming up another artillery doomstack there. Alright, dealing with a lot of the enemies there, and we're still taking a lot of casualties over here. Is that... That's some artillery there, but that is a lot of artillery. Right, so we're getting some tanks over here. Let's just actually send them along the road there. I mean, we've got some troops over here. We can probably push them further out. Most of these are quite damaged, but... Ooh, that is a lot of troops in here as well. Okay, we might be pushed back from there. Push the enemy back a little bit further over here. That Centurion is not going to stand a chance against us. Hopefully. Do we have more AA guns? I believe we do still have quite a bit in here somewhere. Well, that's another artillery group that could be easily brought in. That one needs to go... Okay, that is actually already heading to get some repairs done. Got more infantry coming in here, so yeah, we'll hopefully get the Cherbourg Harbour conquered soon. And then the city itself. And then we'll start pushing towards Caen over there in the north. In the middle, we need to clear out this artillery doomstack in here, which is hopefully going to happen fairly quickly. As soon as we've taken care of that engineer, then the artillery over here is going to be the next on the front line. They are bringing in some more infantry though, but that is not the best infantry that they have. It's actually fairly small or low quality overall. We did just lose a heavy tank further south here. It was one of the ones that we had to pull back to get some repairs done on it, but we didn't actually send it to get the repairs. But that's on me. So we'll deal with this stack next. There's a fair bit of artillery there. Mostly French and a bit of Belgian artillery. And some infantry in there, some Italian elite guards. Go ahead and get some of these to be repaired. Might take a few moments. Right, we still got so much infantry in here that is stopping some of the troops to go get some repairs. Or from going to get some repairs. So let's just go ahead and send these along the road over here so we can get Angers over here. There's a lot of artillery stacked in there already, so if we can take that one out and then start taking the airfields over here one by one, then that's going to give us a lot more safety in sort of the position and all that. We do actually have quite a few submarines in here still. Let's go ahead and bring them over here somewhere, shall we? That escort might be a problem. But yeah, the British have brought in most of the fleet in here. We sank quite a few ships overall, but not enough. So let's go ahead and take this stack here and just run through all of this. That's all the movement orders that I can give them, but that'll hopefully help. We are being pushed back from there, so let's just actually pull back before we get fully destroyed. We sent a lot of troops back to get repairs already, but of course I still missed quite a few. But we managed to destroy a decent chunk of the artillery in here. We got some infantry in here. Let's just go ahead and send these to entrench in there. Take that entire stack. Entrench in there. Sangers, once these arrive in there, we shouldn't take all that long because it's on a railway. We're going to deal a massive amount of damage on the enemy garrisons. We are going to take quite a bit of damage overall in here. I suppose we could send in the tanks as well. Entrench in there. And that one needs to pull back. These have managed to clear out some of the enemies at least. We've got some infantry in here that could push forward. And these are waiting there. We've got some troops over here that have been repaired. Let's gather those up. And then of course we still have quite a bit of... Now to be fair, about half of these at this stage are probably not really fighting units. There's supply trucks and artillery and such. And then some of the AA or AT guns, or the self-propelled AT guns, tank destroyers. But like, it's a bit limited in their efficiency, I would say. But we're going to certainly go ahead and push back some of the enemy troops here. We have pushed in a lot of troops in here, but there's a lot that need to pull back. That one needs to already go get some repairs. Well, these could actually just sit over there to make sure that they won't be able to outflank us too much. It's going to take all of these and pull back. But the enemy troops in Angers are mostly destroyed. There's one garrison remaining there. Once we destroy that, we'll just move in the tanks and destroy the enemy artillery on the rear. I suppose we can move some of the infantry as well. And then these tanks can push forward. There we go. So how's the losses now? We destroyed 7,000 and we lost 97. I mean, it's decent. It could be better. And it probably will be better once we get through some of these more difficult portions. Like getting through in here is going to be a bit of a pain in the butt, but it can be done. And of course there's another entrance to the southern side of the river here. That one needs to go get some repairs, I reckon. There was one thing that I could do. There isn't a railway in here, is there? Nope. Let's get a rail through there, and eventually once we've captured a little bit more in here, we can extend the rail so that we can just take the bridge to repair in here instead. That's going to save us a lot of time. But there is starting to amass a lot of troops in here, mostly Portuguese and Spanish. A little bit of French. Not too many though. Let's go ahead and get the submarines pushed forward again. We can hopefully capture more of the coastline here, and that way stop the British from entering from the southern side here. They haven't been that much of a nuisance as of late. They probably will be. Okay, so we've got quite a few troops in here. Is there still artillery stacks there? There's a little bit of artillery in there. That is also an artillery stack. Have we got on? Well, I suppose we got a little bit there. That one needs to pull back. So yeah, the fighting over here is a lot of micro. For sure, but hopefully it'll get a little bit easier soon. Oh, right, we don't actually control most of this. Right, let's just send some of the escorts over here. There we go, so we should control all of this. Hopefully we can get the supplies in here in due time. But now we can probably move in, actually, these to be repaired. Because they've taken heavy losses. We can send at least some of these submarines forward. Right, we haven't lost any new units as of late. Let's, is that a stack of, it's just a stack of artillery for the most part. Let's get into the hydroplanes. These can start getting in here to destroy the next set of garrisons. And hopefully we can push the enemies out of here. We definitely need to sort of get some more breathing room in here for ourselves. Let's move the AA guns forward. Or most of the AA units anyway. And I suppose we can bring in a bit of artillery over here as well. Let's just send these to cut off the road. And then these can start attacking the port. But I have a decent bit of garrisons, but overall the garrisons are not going to last all that long. There we go, that's going to give us a bit of area there, and we can repair this one. Okay, some of these need to go get some repairs. We do get an extra group of infantry in here now, so let's put them next to the village here. And hopefully we can clear out the village. That's going to be an important position for us to sort of hold on to. And send more troops across the river. And hopefully start clearing out some of this artillery stack there, because that is painful, to say the least. At least we're also dealing a decent bit with the enemy air force in here right now. There we go, that can push forward, and I suppose what we'll do is we'll push that forward. These can push forward. They are sending in some tanks in here, but it's mostly not that impressive tanks overall. There we go, we captured the city. And we could push forward a little bit to give us a bit more breathing room in here. We got some extra infantry in here, but I say that we will probably leave at least some behind. Mostly because it's going to be quite heavy fighting in there. We got some more tanks in here. Let's just go ahead and send them to the northern side, or the... I suppose that's kind of northeastern front. And there's a northern front over here going into the port. At least a lot of the infantry is getting good experience here. We can get into the port, we can capture that, and then we can force them to bring in the troops over here instead. Oh, right, that's a lot of transport ships there. Alright, and are we fighting in here? Oh, right, we're bombarding there. Okay, well, that's fine. Do we have more submarines over here that we could send forward? These are going to be repaired, I suppose. Let's bring another corps of artillery in here. Alright, so we managed to push the enemy artillery back a little bit. We can probably keep the assault going. Is that? Yeah, there's 5 in there. These are mostly quite damaged. And if I want to repair everything, I don't know if I need to repair everything, quite frankly. I can just let the French do that on their own eventually, once we've liberated them from themselves. We could get some artillery across the river already. I suppose we've got a lot of troops over here that could also be pushed forward. Okay, so where are you heading? You are heading all the way down south. I suppose that is going to be an easy way to start dealing some more damage on the enemy artillery stacks there. And then these 3 can go get some repairs. We got some infantry in here. Actually, we don't have a lot of infantry in here, although we could send some through there. And then we can send these tanks to assault the Le Mans as well. So that way, we are getting closer and closer to the airfield. And once we've dealt with that, that is... Ooh, the supply truck needs to pull back. Let's just send in some of these units forward. Get a bit of a defensive line there. We can keep some of the troops in here, although vast majority can probably be sent back. Get some repairs and all that. We can send in at least one of these escorts to go around to capture the sea zones up to here. And that's going to help us a little bit holding on to the area. I guess it's time to get some more troops from here. So we managed to clear out Cherbourg already. We are getting towards Caen, and then it's sort of getting towards Paris, although Paris might be a little bit difficult to get to, so we might want to sort of take Orleans in the south first and then start slowly whittling down the enemies in there. While we keep them busy in there, we'll go around the northern side, get to the Belgian border, and start cutting them off from the various entryways in here, so that we can sort of just slowly whittle them down and make sure that they don't get to escape from there. So encircle Paris, and then take Paris, and then start pushing forward again. In the meanwhile, in the south, we'll probably attack it a little bit further. I mean, if we could get all the way to Bordeaux, or even to Spanish border, it's possible. It's going to take a fair bit of troops to do so, but it is possible. Alright, yeah, we've got some troops pushing through already. I suppose what I could do is just move this infantry group a bit north to clear out with that stack. There's a few artillery pieces in there. It's not too many, but it is hurting us. And there we go, we're dealing with the remaining garrisons there. There we go, let's just send in the tanks forward. Right, time to push forward over here as well. If we can clear out that artillery, or the airfield, sorry, then that'd be great. And now we're pushing out a lot of the planes away from here. They won't be able to repair in there anymore. Ooh, well, we're going to lose the tank over here. Too many planes. Unless we get lucky, which I think we might have just gotten lucky. Bringing the AA guns closer. We can maybe deal a bit more damage onto them, and then bring in the rocketries closer as well. Oh, we just lost a infantry in here. Have we hit 100 units lost? No, we're still at below 100. Barely, but we are below. Let's bring in more infantry in here to deal with the next town. If we can hold on to the towns here, then that's going to already be pretty impressive overall. Okay, we got the AA guns. We did actually manage to save all the tanks in the north here. Or northeast. Or I suppose east. Right, so we got some of the troops here now. Let's just go ahead and start pushing towards Caen. And I suppose these tanks can start pushing towards the airfield. We've got the AA guns closer now, so that's going to help a long way. Although, wow, we are taking... I didn't realize that there's 100 planes there. Okay, we're losing a lot of troops in here. I don't think I can stop the attack, though. Even if I tried. Well, I mean, we could probably try to shoot down some of them with the rocketry and all that, but we lost 2 tanks already, so that puts us at exactly 100 units lost. And that's not going to end there. Okay, let's just go ahead and send more tanks there. Now that the planes are getting tired and they can't repair in here, now is going to be the time to attack. This one needs to pull back as soon as possible. No, it's not going to get out of there. Oh, and the assault over here is also taking a bit of casualties. Right, so we lost... Oh, air defense completed in Quimper, but that's of course far enough so that it's not going to be used all that much anymore. But it's better than nothing. I suppose we could also build some air defense over here near Cherbourg. Of course, it takes 60 days to build, so yeah, I might not complete it at all, but we can try. Okay, looks like we've cleared out the town here, so let's just get in there. We can deal with some of the artillery left behind by the enemy. And these can push forward. Maybe we'll send these forward as well. So how's the assault on the airfield? It's going. Not going fast. And not necessarily all that well either, but at least it's going. So let's get those in. That one can be sent for repairs. Get the artillery closer. Or artilleries closer. So next time that we start clearing out an airfield, what we should do is bring in the artillery, or AA and artillery within range, and start just bombarding with the artillery, so they'll just leave the place instead of fighting me. That's usually what at least tends to happen with that sort of situations. Right, let's just take these 3, get forward. We can probably start building a bit of a trench here at some point. Although we could just try push forward and forward. Is that engineers? No, that's supply trucks and garrisons. Oh, that's another land production. I see. Well, speaking of land production... Oh, right, the BTR's over here. How is the stats compared to... Indirect defense is 26. What about these business? How much is theirs? It's 20, so they could be slightly better. Let's just build in some BTRs then, at least. Not really the best unit, but it's sort of some of the more recognizable Soviet units. For sure. I suppose we'll get... How much? Yeah, we'll get some specimens as well. The BTRs are quite quick to build, at least, so that's good. Bring some more troops to the southern side of the river, and that one needs to pull back. You know what? Let's just send in some of these troops forward. If we can clear out the artillery that is bombarding us, then that is going to save us a lot of casualties. Get into the airfield, push the enemy artillery out. And plus make sure that they can't use the airfield. We just lost another tank over here on the push towards Caen. We cleared out the port already. Let's just entrench troops in here and we can clear out the village hopefully fairly quickly. That one needs to pull back. And we can get into the airfield here now. We'll probably leave one of these behind and we'll bring in the AA guns closer. So at least we've been able to advance fairly reliably in here, even though we are taking losses, of course, but hey, that's to be expected with combats like this. Invading another country is not easy. Or cheap, for that matter. Bring the submarine over here. Oh, right, I see what's happening. Oh, bollocks. Let's bring in the capital ships. And probably the escorts as well. So all of them in here. Because the French are now... Or not French, the British are bringing their ships again. Well, at least we sank one of them. So how's the attacks going? That one's holding. But maybe push forward over here. There's a couple of units over here that need to be repaired. And how's the... Okay, yeah, you need to be repaired and all that. But yeah, overall, it's not a bad advance that we did today. But we are out of time for this episode, so if you enjoyed this, please like, subscribe if you haven't already. Also got the links down below in the description. But other than that, thank you very much for watching. Until next time, bye-bye.